Hey guys, and welcome along to another Monster Hunter World video. Deviljho has now been added into the game, so in this one we're going to take a look at the weapons you can craft from him, as well as a quick look at the Palico set too. I've got another video looking at the Deviljho armour as well, so be sure to check that one out too. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss any future content. So, first off, as I said in the armour preview video, to get access to fight Deviljho, you will need to be at least Hunter rank 12 and have completed the Old Monsters in the New World quest. Once that's all done, you'll get a notice saying that there has been Deviljho sighting, then you'll need to collect some footprints, find him in an expedition, and then complete that initial quest. Once you finish that, you'll be able to get a special assignment from the handler to hunt down the pickle monster and farm those materials that the smithy will need to craft all his new gear. So, in total there are 14 new Deviljho weapons, one for each of the weapon types available in the game. So I'm going to be taking a look at each of these weapons individually. Starting at the top then, we have the Great Sword, the Berserker Sword, which is a level 6 Great Sword, which can be upgraded to the Rarity 7 Anguish. So the Anguish has 1104 base damage, white sharpness if you're using handicraft. All of the Deviljho weapons will have white sharpness providing that you have the handicraft perk. It also has minus 30% affinity, which again, most of the Deviljho weapons do have some form of negative affinity on them, which can be easily dealt with if you've got the weakness exploit perk or affinity booster. Then to be honest, you probably won't even notice much of that negative affinity. There is also a dragon element at 240 on this, and a high Elder Seal to rival those Nergigante weapons, as they are the only other weapons in the game to contain a high Elder Seal. And finally, there is also the option to augment this one twice. Next then we have the Longsword. The Reaver Cruelty is the Rarity 6 version, with the upgraded version being the Reaver Calamity. The base attack on this one is 759, white sharpness, minus 25% affinity. This also has a dragon element at 210, and just like the Greatsword, a high Elder Seal and the 2 augmentation slots. Sword and Shield next, the Rarity 6 version being Fatal Joe, and the upgraded Rarity 7 Fatal Bite. The base attack on these is 308, white sharpness again, slightly lower minus 20% affinity this time, 210 dragon element, high Elder Seal, and the 2 augment slots as well. Next up, let's have a look at the Dual Blades. Rarity 6 version are Wrath and Rancor, and the upgraded Rarity 7 version, Wrathful Predation. Base attack on these is 308, white sharpness again, minus 20% affinity, the same as the Sword and Shield, 180 dragon element, and a high Elder Seal with the 2 augment slots on these as well. Hammer is next on the list. Devil's Due is the base version, and the Devil's Crush is the upgraded Rarity 7. Base attack is 1196, white sharpness, a higher minus 30% affinity on this one though, on par with the Greatsword, a 210 dragon element, and a high Elder Seal with the 2 augmentation slots here as well. This one's probably not quite as good as the Diablos Hammer, but will still pack a punch against those Elder Dragons. Next we've got the Hunting Horn. The base version of this one is the Devil's Maestro, and the upgraded version is the Deep Vero. Base attack damage of 924, white sharpness, minus 30% affinity on par with the Hammer and the Greatsword, a 240 dragon element, as well as that high Elder Seal and 2 augmentation slots. The melody effects on the Deep Vero are self-improvement, attack up large, health boost large, wind pressure negated, and defense up large. Really decent set of songs on this one, so expect to see Hunting Horn users using this one around a lot. The Lance is the Grief Lance, and the upgraded version is the Fiendish Tower. Base attack is 529, white sharpness again, minus 25% affinity, as well as a 210 dragon element, high Elder Seal, and 2 augmentation slots. And the Gun Lance is the Ravenous Gun Lance, and the upgraded version is the Insatiable Gun Lance. Base attack is 529, white sharpness, as seems to be the theme for these Deviljho weapons, minus 30% affinity on this one, a 240 dragon element, and the high Elder Seal with 2 augmentation slots. And this is also a long-ranged shelling lance at level 3, so yeah, a long-range one for those of you whose playstyle this suits. The switch axe next is the Tyrannos, and the upgraded version is the Terra Tyrannos. Base attack here is 770, white sharpness, minus 25% affinity, 180 dragon element, and high elder seal with the 2 augment slots, and a power file type. Moving on to the charge blade next, and the base version is the Tyrant's charge blade, and the upgraded version being the Oppressor's charge blade. Base attack is 792, white sharpness, minus 25 affinity, 210 dragon element, and high elder seal. And this one is a power element file type, as well as having 2 augment slots. The insect glaive next. Bad wing is the rarity 6 version, and the upgraded one is Grunge Storm. Base attack is 682, white sharpness, minus 25% affinity on this one, 210 dragon elements, and a high elder seal. And the Kinsect bonus for the Grunge Storm is health boost. The light bowgun, the Devil's Grin, and upgraded to the Devil's Madness, has a base attack of 299, minus 25% affinity, no element obviously, high deviation, and the special ammo for this one is Wyvern Blast. As for the ammo types for this, there isn't a great selection, a lot of slow reload speeds in there, as well as no rapid fire options available, which is a little bit disappointing. As for the heavy bowgun, the Gluttonous Cannon is the base version upgraded to the Dark Devourer. Base attack is 345, minus 25% affinity, high deviation, and special ammo is Wyvern Blast, the same as the light bowgun. Same again on the ammo types front, a lot of slow reload times, which you'd expect on the heavy bowgun. There's a few different ammo types, but definitely the bowguns are the weakest of the Deviljho weapons in my opinion. And finally, the bow. Base version is the Insurgent's bow, and the upgraded version is the Villainous Brace. Base attack here is of 276, minus 25% affinity, 210 dragon element, and the high elder seal here too. We've also got the 2 augmentation slots. The coatings available on the bow are close range, power, and poison, but you can of course put some decorations on and open up some of those other options as well. That's it for the weapons, so I'm just going to have a quick look at the Palico gear as well. It does look pretty cool with like a Mexican wrestler's mask on there. The weapon then is the Feline Vangis Mace with melee 65 and ranged 22. It's a blunt weapon type with a 180 dragon element and a high elder seal with a minus 20% affinity as well. So that's it. Let me know in the comments what you guys will be grinding Deviljho for. For me personally, I really want that bow and the sword and the shield. I think they both look absolutely incredible. As ever guys, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this or it helped in any way, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and I will see you guys again soon.